The Gothic genre summons images of bleak landscapes and European manners inhabited by pale ingenues, Byronic heroes, vampiric recluses, and all manner of otherworldly creatures. Conversely, the tropics evoke radiant beaches, lush rainforests, sun-kissed skin, and earthly delights, all laden with colonialist fantasies of extraction, indulgence, and escape. These nocturnal and solar visions paradoxically come together in Tropical Gothic. Styled after Tales of the Tropical Gothic, a 1972 collection of short stories by Filipino author Nick Joaquin, Tropical Gothic is a literary and cinematic subgenre that draws on the beliefs, traditions, and folklore of the tropics. Joaquin's fictional lens captured the tumultuous aftermath of colonial rule in the Philippines, while also confronting tendencies of neo- and self-colonization. Tales of the Tropical Gothic directly challenges the hegemony of its European cultural predecessors by inserting indigenous Filipino ways of knowing into the anglophone literary canon. The Gothic genre presently extends across the global south and manifests locally in accordance with the singularities of each region, spanning the Southern Gothic of the US American South, Lo Real Maravilloso of the Spanish Caribbean, and many others. Featuring works by artists from the tropics, subtropics, and their diasporas, Tropical Gothic demonstrates that the Gothic has never been the domain of a single culture. In the spirit of this plurality, we invited artists to speak to their unique experiences as diasporic and post-colonial subjects, interweaving social, political, economic, historic, cultural, spiritual, and environmental elements of their ancestral homelands.
Reaching back to ancestral kin while remaining grounded in the present, we explore the quintessentially diasporic condition of occupying multiple, at times contradicting worlds. We speak to the anxieties of occupying these worlds while playfully wielding myth-making to dialogue with specters that haunt our contemporary existence. The exhibition thus subverts Eurocentric preconceptions of both the tropics and the Gothic by finding the latter in the former and bringing both into stark present relevance. The color ultramarine blue serves as a unifying formal element throughout the exhibition. Beyond its symbolic association to the nocturnal, the supernatural, and the unknown, we draw on the history of this pigment to position ourselves within a lineage of transnational exchange. Ultramarine derives its name from a deep blue pigment made by grinding the semi-precious stone lapis lazuli into a powder. Because this pigment was originally brought to Europe from mines in present-day Afghanistan, it came to be known as ultramarines in Latin, meaning from beyond the sea. This color signifies for us as diasporic artists an awareness of our separation and distance from the tropical and subtropical regions we reference in our work and throughout the exhibition.
A boundless love. Though we have only spent time together for less than 6 weeks in my entire lifetime on Earth, I know you're always with me. I feel your presence, or at least
Shaya Ishak's soaring spirit, boundless love. Ishak pays homage to her Kenyan-Ugandan lineage of weavers recreating her tapestries in a sacred and speculative digital realm of their own. This experimental video with spoken word style narration unfolds as a momentary glimpse into an astral plane where ancestral connections and embodied knowledge meet.
How lucky are we to have an option other than heaven? Somehow our senses are boundless here. Do you feel it? The omnipresence of our essence? Meet me on the astral plane.
Cynthia Arias Aus's mixed media drawing, Enemigos de mi sangre, illustrates tensions between seeking to belong and wanting to hide. The richly layered image hints at familial secrecy by obliquely citing visual elements of the artist's family home. A veiled figure clutches a condor, the national bird of Ecuador, in a gesture that embodies the duality of care and criticism, genuine critique, comes from a place of care, but also demands effective investment in the subject of criticism. By reflecting on the place of family as intermediary between personal life and social groupings such as class and nation, this work imbues Tropical Gothic with the melodrama of lived experience.
In Kaiser DeGraff-Ford's Twilight Rider, they approach painting and the theme of Tropical Gothic through the lens of speculative fiction melding equestrian imagery from childhood memories in the Canadian prairies with Afro-Caribbean symbols of spiritual possession to reflect on hybrid transcultural identity. While the work references Franz Marc's Blue Horse series from the German expressionist movement Der Blaue Reiter, DeGraff-Ford's horse is white, where the partially concealed blue-skinned rider is what comes to signify spiritual renewal and transmasculine energy.
Truth of the most powerful point. The crossing of melancholic hums and bells as my fingers raw. Of putrid synergy.
Marissa Sean Cruz's glitchy video, titled XP, traces latent manifestations of a colonial ethos of domination in contemporary leisure and entertainment culture. The artist's chosen avatar, a blue ogre office worker, toils away at a computer terminal, escaping only through a tantalizing vision of a tropical beach screensaver, and scenes from a popular simulation game where the player's objective is to conquer new lands. This hyperpop vision of Tropical Gothic articulates a lasting resonance and contemporary ubiquity of colonial power in a playful, irreverent manner.
In Juarez's installation of two of their works, El Tianguis and El Peticito de Atrás, Juarez's glitched textiles address notions of purity and authenticity in the context of the contemporary market. Modeled after the Mexica Tianguis, the installation presents an array of globally sourced consumer goods, which have been covered in blue pigment and thereby rendered homogeneous. The draping textile suggests a threshold where craft and materials serve to facilitate a dialogue between the artist's personal memories and the larger histories that shape her circumstances. Jointly, the works by these 7 artists weave together stories of ancient myth and contemporary experience, blurring the boundaries between here and there and then and now. They speak to the anxieties of existence within the diaspora while eloquently rejecting exoticizing discourse on the tropical.
Drawing on the Dili Ingonato, Not Like Us Humans, from Cebuano folklore, Excel Garay's installation depicts contradictions between realms. The work harnesses liminality in its use of materials. It exists somewhere between painting and weaving, figuration and abstraction, the corporeal and the spiritual, death and birth. It articulates a desire to exist beyond classifying and disciplining systems of gender and borders that label the body transgender and transnational, and presents this vision as a dreamy, alternative plane of existence.
In Carmel Farabakhsh's Invariable Ritual, their audio composition adopts the voice of the jinn, pre-Islamic entities to convey intermingling notes of fear and reverence in the North American image of Iran. This figure is conveyed through a violin score mixed with undulating sounds of domestic life, nature, and commerce from various Iranian landmarks. In the paradoxical spirit of Tropical Gothic, the jinn's voice is split between two tall anthropomorphic speakers placed on opposite sides of the gallery. Attempts to listen to both simultaneously impose a strain on listeners. Depending on the proximity of listeners to either speaker, one narrative is more audible than the other. The work thus invites reflection on contradictions of harmony and dissonance, making a case for indeterminacy and fluidity.